Steinberg. There's a mini flood over here. Sorry about that. It's going to slip and fall down. That's your fault, isn't it? I can tell. I went to Hesburger today. I don't think that was a very good idea. My guts right now sound a little bit like when my upstairs neighbor flushes a toilet. And I'll be honest, I'm a little bit nervous. So you guys in the front, you smell something funny, I'm sorry. I think they ought to change the name of Hesburger to Herber. So hi, my name is Josh. I am from the United States of America, in case you were wondering where my exotic accent comes from. I get a lot of crap sometimes from Europeans because I only speak one language. In other words, typical American, only speaks one language, da 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 da. And you're right, I am. I wish I spoke more languages, but if you saw the schools that I went to as a child, you would realize that it's lucky I can even do this one. I'll give you an example. For my grammar school, the school fight song for all the sporting events went a little something like this. A watermelon, watermelon, Cadillac car. We ain't as dumb as you think we is. I'm not joking, that really was the song. I couldn't make that up. See, I was born and raised in Washington, D.C. And so for those of you that don't know, I had 3,000 students in my high school. 3,000 students. It's like 5 teachers and 1 book, but we won't get into that. No, 3,000 students, and it was 97% black, 2% Hispanic, and 1% other. Everybody else in the world, other. We had to share a percent. You know? I mean, it wasn't a big deal, you understand? I mean, this is what I knew. This is how I grew up. That's the whole city, my neighborhood. Everything was basically the same breakdown. It's like Helsinki, but a photo negative. Right? Think about it like that, if that helps. You know? And nowadays I realize, that that's a little bit uncommon, and people ask me, wow, you grew up in DC, weren't you ever scared? No. It was never a problem. That's what people don't understand. It was never a problem. I didn't realize this wasn't, uncommon. Everybody was always black. I was always the only white guy in the room. The only time growing up that I was ever hanging out, with other whites was when I was with my friends. That's not true. Yes, it is. Actually, it's true. But look, it's not that we were racist. That's silly. I mean, when I was growing up, a racist was generally referred to as a black guy that didn't like white people. And that happened. Because if you were a white guy in my neighborhood and you didn't like black people, there was another word for you. It was, what was it again? Oh yeah, dead. It wasn't until I left D.C. and went to college out in, the boondocks, out with a bunch of rednecks, that I even realized I wasn't a minority. I got out to college and it was mostly white people, a bunch of, rednecks from the country, and I was like, sweet, this is awesome, my people, I'm not a minority anymore. I found out I was the only Jewish guy, so I went with that. Yes, I am Jewish. I know these things are sometimes hard to tell. Occasionally. Can I have $1? She didn't give me one. Brother. I like to travel a lot. I was in Los Angeles recently. I was in Hollywood specifically. I love Hollywood because You can see shit there that you can't see anywhere else in the world. You know, I walked out of my hotel room one morning and there's a homeless guy sitting there with a cell phone. Who's he calling? I'd like to hear his outgoing voicemail message. Hi, you've reached Bob, I'm not at home. I don't have one. In California right now, also they're trying to pass a law to allow same-sex marriage, which I thought was a little bit strange. I mean, same-sex marriage, a law, kind of what marriage is, isn't it? It's the same sex, same person, till no sex, or somebody dies. It's kind of how this works. I don't think you need a law. What they ought to do is have a law of some-sex marriage. I would vote for that. Friday night, honey, sorry. We have to have some sex. It's the law. That could work for me. I mean, now, I don't want you to get the wrong impression. I don't really have these problems. I'm like a surgeon in the bedroom. Yeah, right? Like a doctor, like a dentist. Yeah, dentist of love. So lay back, get comfortable. So only take a minute, you won't feel a thing. Probably want to rinse and spit afterwards. But there's all these people that, in the U.S., there's all these people that, they get really upset, they get really angry about this idea of gay people getting married, gay people being allowed to get married, you know? And, I don't really get it. You know, if gay guys want to, stop having just massive amounts of random, uncommitted sex with multiple people and settle down with one person legally, they should be able to do that. I do think that, as in straight relationships, it's really the women that want to get married in this case. And let's face it, if we didn't want to see women have sex, 90% of the internet probably wouldn't exist, you know? I don't think I'd have a computer. What's the point? Send an email. I want to see porn. But these people, they get really upset, they get really angry about the whole, gay marriage thing, and I think that they ought to just be honest. I mean, if that's your opinion, great, fine, go with it, but just be honest. They always come up with these ridiculous, silly reasons as excuses for basically why they're being bigots, you know? Like I heard one guy, he says, guys getting married to other guys? Well, hell, what's next? You gonna marry a grapefruit? Yes, that's exactly the same thing. But I was thinking about it, I was like, you know what? If a guy loves a grapefruit so much that he wants to only spend time with that grapefruit to the exclusion of all others, I say go for it. Go ahead, get married. Because they're probably not going to have kids, and you might want to get that guy out of the gene pool. Thanks, Ray. There's people that say, gay marriage is going to undermine the seriousness and the stability of marriage as an institution. Huh? I don't know what the hell that even means. But I do know that I got married in the backseat of a limousine at a drive-thru window in Las Vegas by a guy dressed like Elvis, and that shit was legal. If anybody's harming the institution of marriage, it's this guy. And we're still together. Or you get the, I saw one guy, he did this on the news. I swear to God, he says, man having sex with other men, that's not natural. Man can't have sex with other men. Sorry, but if you think this is how gay guys have sex with each other, might want to do a little research before you give us your opinion. That's all. And my favorite group is the religious people, the really far out there religious folks that get really angry about it. Just angry, oh, it's a sin, and you're going to hell, and and God hates all homosexuals, and, you know, I mean, sorry? Oh, okay. I mean, I think that's a little bit extreme. You know what I mean? I think it's a little bit extreme. I don't think that God hates homosexuals. I don't think anything of the matter. I think, okay, he might have been a little bit concerned, you know? His only son, long hair, wore a dress, only hung out with other dudes, you know? It's okay, relax. I'm Jewish, I can say this stuff. Wasn't God's son to me. He's just a regular dude with a really good agent. Like Tom Cruise, who's probably also gay. I would think that all these people that are really upset about it, that really dislike gay people, should want them to get married. You know what I mean? Because, like, okay, it's got nothing to do about loving somebody. They don't say, oh, you can't love somebody. It's just sex. It's all it is. It's the physical act of sex. It's like, I can say, hey man, I love you. We're not gay until one of us puts our penis in the other one. You know? Nobody has a problem with it until that happens. Gay people have gay sex. That's why they're so gay. And straight people have straight sex. It's a big deal. Married people fall asleep on the sofa before any sex can happen. Problem solved. Anyway, thank y'all very much. Thanks for coming out. That's my set. My name's Josh. Have a good night.
Steinberg.